Have you ever heard a story so bizarre that your first reaction is, yeah, right, that never happened? Well, some moments are so absurd, so out of this world, that even the most gullible friend in your group would need actual proof before believing it. And lucky for us, we live in the age of smartphones and security cameras, where almost everything ends up caught on video. That means we can witness pure madness from the safety of our couch, from strange coincidences to completely insane stunts. Today I'm bringing you a list of clips that, if they weren't recorded, no one would believe. And before we dive in, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and get ready, because this ride is going to get wild. You know when you're snacking and you find a chip or puff shaped like something funny? Maybe it looks like a little heart, a cartoon face, or some weird animal. Usually you laugh, take a quick photo for Instagram, and then, crunch, it's gone. But what if I told you someone once found one of these snacks and sold it for the equivalent of almost $90,000? No joke, a single flamin' hot Cheetos puff shaped in a way that kind of resembled the Pokemon Charizard ended up in a legit online auction. And apparently, someone out there with way too much disposable income decided they had to have it. This 3-inch puff, nicknamed Cheetozard, became the centerpiece of a bidding war. The crazy part, it started at about $250 and quickly skyrocketed into the tens of thousands of dollars. The lucky buyer got it in a fancy display case, as if it were a rare diamond instead of, you know, a crunchy corn snack. Can you imagine? One wrong move, someone mistakes it for a regular Cheetos, and poof, there goes a small fortune. So yeah, next time you open a bag of Cheetos, you might want to double check before you eat the oddly shaped ones. Funerals can be very different depending on the culture. In the US, most are quiet, solemn events with people dressed in black, sharing memories and offering condolences. But in other parts of the world, a funeral can be less about mourning and more about celebrating the life of the person who passed. In Peru, one widow decided to give her husband the send-off of a lifetime, literally. During his wake, she had a live singer performing his favorite songs. But that wasn't enough. She took things to another level by dancing, full energy, right next to a life-sized cardboard cutout of him. And we're not talking about a slow, swaying dance. This was a full-on hip-shaking performance, like she was at a concert. People around her were clapping and singing along, turning what started as a funeral into a full-on party. Some people online said it was disrespectful, others thought it was a beautiful way to honor him by doing something he loved. Personally, I think if the guy was a huge fan of that music and those vibes, maybe it was the perfect tribute. It's the middle of the night. You glance out your window and see what looks like flames in your neighbor's house. Heart racing, you grab your phone, dial 911 and report a possible fire. Within minutes, a fire truck arrives, lights flashing, sirens blaring, firefighters ready to break down the door, but there's no fire. Turns out what looked like blazing flames through the window was just a massive 8K television playing a super realistic fireplace video. That's right, someone's cozy winter vibe caused a full emergency response. The neighbor who called it in even filmed the fire. And honestly, it does look real in the clip. To be fair, if you're walking by at night and see orange flickering light, you're not going to assume it's Netflix's fireplace for your home. Most of us go to the barber shop expecting a haircut, maybe a beard trim, and that's it. But in India, some barbershops turn the whole thing into an extreme sport. One man asked for a traditional haircut and got a rapid-fire combination of scissors, clippers, head massages, spine-cracking neck twists, and sudden loud slaps that make you wonder if it's part of the service or a prank. Another guy just wanted a shave but got the full spa experience. Though spa might not be the right word when you leave wondering if your neck is still aligned properly. In the US, a bad haircut means a few awkward weeks until it grows back. In India, a bad day at the barber could mean you're leaving with a chiropractor appointment on your to-do list. Motorcycles are a symbol of freedom for a lot of people, but that freedom comes with risks. Usually you think about cars pulling out in front of you or potholes in the road. But for one rider, the danger came from above. He was cruising along when a utility pole suddenly collapsed right in front of him. With no time to stop or swerve, he ended up tangled in a mess of high voltage wires. It's the kind of moment where you just think, that's it. Game over. But somehow, he escaped without so much as a scratch. The odds of surviving something like that are so tiny it feels like divine intervention. There's always that one overconfident friend who insists they can pull off a stunt. In this case, the stunt was a simple flip. He gave it a shot, and instead of landing on the ground, he launched himself straight into the windshield of a parked car. His friend's parked car, glass everywhere, everyone laughing except the guy who now has to pay for a new windshield. Sometimes I can totally do this turns into I'll never financially recover from this in seconds. You know those guests who show up to a party with a gift and expect good food, drinks, and maybe even a little souvenir to take home? Well, a Brazilian influencer became internet famous after bringing a $20 gift to a party, taking one look at the small plate of snacks offered, and immediately grabbing his gift back before walking out. The clip blew up online, with people debating whether he was rude or just standing up for his standards. Some said, if you throw a party, you feed your guests. Others thought he was entitled. Either way, the moral is, if you invite this guy, make sure the buffet is top tier. Florida has a reputation for wild stories, and this one fits right in. A group of friends out on a boat decided to open a can of beer using a live alligator. They actually lured the gator in, positioned the can near its teeth, and popped it open like it was a kitchen gadget. One wrong move and it could have ended in a hospital trip, or worse. But hey, the beer was open in under 2 seconds, so priorities, right? Picture this. A police officer is on the scene investigating a robbery when a completely clueless troublemaker rolls up on a motorcycle. He clearly doesn't notice the cops, revs his engine to show off in front of his friends, and basically delivers himself straight into their hands. The other riders instantly realize he's in trouble, but by then, it's too late. Some mistakes you can laugh about later. This probably wasn't one of them.
Agora já...
At a chimp sanctuary in Zambia, an influencer chimp named Juma started a fashion trend. Yes, really. He stuck a piece of grass in his ear, and before long, other chimps were copying him. Then Juma decided to take it to the next level and stuck the grass in a much less conventional spot. And yes, the others followed suit. Researchers say this has no biological purpose. It's just social, like an inside joke or viral trend in chimp society. Makes you wonder when they'll start doing TikTok dances. There's a real technique called tonic immobility that can put a shark into a trance-like state. Scientists use it to safely examine and tag them. It involves flipping the shark onto its back or gently stimulating certain spots near its snout. Once in this state, the shark becomes completely still, breathing slowly like it's meditating, but the moment you flip it back, it snaps out of it instantly. It's fascinating, but you won't catch me trying it anytime soon. In Rio de Janeiro, a guy needed a motorcycle ride but didn't have a helmet. His solution? Saw a hole in a blue plastic bucket and wear that instead. The bucket was huge, impossible to miss, and honestly probably drew more attention from police than just riding without anything at all. Tech keeps finding new ways to make life easier or weirder. In China, there's now a manicure service that installs an NFC payment chip between your natural nail and a fake one. That means you can tap your nail to pay for groceries, bus rides, or even an Uber. No phone, no wallet, just your fingertip. It's futuristic, but also makes you wonder what happens if you break a nail. Those tiny goldfish you see in pet store tanks, they're not destined to stay small forever. In a proper environment with clean water and enough space, they can grow to nearly 20 inches long. The size of the tank acts like a growth limiter, so most never reach their full potential in captivity. If you really want one, experts recommend a 20-gallon tank per fish, plus a strong filtration system. So yeah, those little starter tanks sold in stores, totally inadequate. And that's it for today. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.